All right, thank you for staying with us. Please welcome back to the stage Director Zhang Wei, our filmmaker. So rounds in the audience, I guess you enjoyed it, that's great. I think it's good sometimes to begin with the beginning. This is based on a real story. Can you tell us a little bit about the background? If I remember correctly, there was a workplace gender discrimination lawsuit, and that was the inspiration. But correct me if I'm wrong. Can you speak a little bit about the origin?
所以你提到一下这个片子是怎么开始有这样一个构想把它拍出来。那像他知道的背景是可能是跟有一个真正的社会案件，就是在工作上面对因为这个诉讼的关系，然后衍生出来这样一个片子，是吗？还是说有其他什么样的原因想要拍这部片？
这个故事刚开始初期是有个原型的，就是我们那个时候14年那里面有个电影拍了这个6-7年以上看到一些报道，就是有一个人要去，因为在那个时候10多年前吧，在10年前了，要去变性，一个公众人变性，我就觉得好奇，就找到这个人，就跟他聊的时候，就他带他妈妈来了，当时还没变性，这个男的穿个裙子，这个人都理解了，虽然看了像人，是吧？但他妈妈是个基督徒，跟我聊这基督徒，我不是基督徒。我觉得这个故事就更是更有深度了，所以说我们在慢慢采访有采访了很多的类似的，包括旧金山、洛杉矶、斯特克利，到很多这个 LGBT 的采访，就慢慢的故事。
So the prototype of this particular film actually started when I was started writing the script around 2014, 2015. So it took about 6 to 7 years to make this film. And it actually started with a news article writing about this particular topic about public figure who is going to go through the gender affirming surgery. And at the time, I thought this is very interesting, and I actually tracked this person down, and then realized that this is he is still a male person, and then came dressing in female clothing, and he came with his mother. And I also, throughout our conversations, I found out that she is a Christian, and myself also a Christian. And I just found out that it's very interesting. There's a lot of stories to be told. So started with that, I interviewed, of course, the both of them, and then I interviewed other LGBTQ community members in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, and all the other places that I find interesting that I want to do my research in, and that's how I put this particular film together.
Before moving on to the next question, I want to signal that we have 2 volunteers on the left and on the right with small cards and pencils. So if you want to ask a question, please raise your hand and we'll collect the cards before in the next 10-15 minutes. Okay, I want to ask you about the, so it took 6-7 years, you said, in terms of putting this together. I want to ask you about the screenwriting process. Interestingly, there's a large number of people credited as screenwriters, including, I think it's the American name, Marlo Bernier. So I want to ask you why so that's a lot of people involved in the script.
那大概就是你拍了6-7年的时间呢，看这个最后的地方看到的所有的一些编剧，有很庞大的一个阵容，将近总共8位，包括了一个 Marlo Bernier 这样一位美国的编剧。那为什么会动用这么多的人来一起合作写出这样的一个剧本？
因为这个故事在中国，对我来说，是个新的东西。我自己不是这类人，不是 LGBT 的人，所以说我要创这部电影的时候，我要找这个人来。包括里面洛杉矶那个，他本身就是一个 LGBT 变形的，也是个导演。那我们说变多了，我们当然兔子不会认识他，请他到我们写了一稿，特意到洛杉矶就去见他，跟他交流很多，包括6-7个编剧里面有2个是基督徒，就是 所以他们写这一面又没问题。有些跨性别写那一面，所以说两国编剧在做的都不对。你光靠会这一篇的人写那一面写不出来。
So I think the subject matter itself is very new, not only in terms of in China, but also for myself as a person, because I'm not part of the LGBTQ community, and it is something that I definitely need to rely on other people's knowledge and know-how in order for me to put together a film like this, and including the screenwriter from LA, and she's a director herself, and also someone that comes through the gender affirming surgery. And then among the group of writers, two of them actually are Christians. And so they will be also become the consultants and advisors for the religious side of the stories. And I also have transgender screenwriters as part of my writing teams and to put the script together. So I do think that there are many issues that we're dealing with in this particular film, and I just want to make sure that I have a team of people who are from the theater community to actually lend the authentic voice to these characters.
Let me keep going in that direction. I'm very intrigued. It's just very hard to have a group of creatives, writers together in the same role. How do you come up with a final working shooting script for your film with such a large team?
那还想再继续问一下，就是这么庞大一个编剧的团体，怎么样是可以把最后的这些剧本，就分镜的剧本啊什么给它完成出来？是怎么通过什么样的合作方式或者是沟通的方式把它完成出来？
我一般的创作方式就是说先找两个编剧跟我一块去采访。他写的时候，一般编剧写的已经耗时太长，好几年，对吧？他们是在我再换两个编剧，再换两个编剧，就是没办法。几个人用完以后，到最后一稿，我们开机的时候，导演就说我自己来了，我再带两个编剧在现场后边。
So the process of this particular film is that I started with two screenwriters along with me, and we conducted interviews, and we started to drafting the first draft of the script. And since that this is such a long span of time for me to make this film, I later on also invited two other screenwriters and going through the interviews and to go through the same process to have the second draft of the screenplay. And then before shooting, I also finalized this along with other two screenwriters. Depends on the time in terms of the here and now, and I might make final adjustments, and I will become the final, the playwright or the screenwriter before finalizing the script for the shooting.
Thank you. Since I think the film just ended, probably the audience is still under the spell of that scene, incredible scene, where all of a sudden you have this sort of red woman, the red dress that the main character is wearing. So I want to ask you about the aesthetics of the film. Why this choice of black and white with this sudden eruption of color? Yeah.
看完最后的那一幕非常的动人的，就是最后女主角开始穿着这个红色的衣服。那为什么会特别在选择上面以导演方式说一定要就一开始用黑白的方式去把它表现出来，然后在最后的时候把这个红色凸显出来？
我们在拍的时候并不像是黑白，你都拍完以后剪的时候，因为这电影在剪后期的时候先拿到了创作，后期3部创，我们在剪完片以后，我们想用黑白，整个用黑白。到了最后，你看出现红绿灯的时候，开始红灯绿灯出来，到最后还原彩色，是这么想。想了之后觉得，如果从头到尾是黑白的话，就压抑。正好前面有红裙出现，到后面的红鞋子还有坠裙出现，就加了这些红色进来。其实原来只想到结尾是用红色，就红绿灯开始。我最后一个。一圈一个人群，一群人彩色的人，大概设计。
So we didn't really think about presenting this particular film in black and white mostly. So during production, that wasn't even the concept that we had at the time. It is not until post-production, during the editing process, when we're trying to think about how we're going to tell the story without making it too depressing and to present this particular story. So it is towards the end, this sort of street signs, the traffic signs in terms of the green and the red light. And that is sort of the turning point of how we can structurally making the transition from black and white into color. And that is also, so the red traffic sign signals and also the red color becomes something that we can punctuate throughout the film, not only with the dress, but also with the shoes, but also with the lipsticks. And that's sort of the origin of why we decided to make those choices. It is not in the beginning, but very towards the end during post-production, that is the structural and narrative that was went for.
Thank you. Let me turn to some questions from the audience. Quite a few interesting questions. I guess this one is unavoidable. What is the difference between the theatrical and director's cut? This is the first time showing this version of the movie. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
那可不可以提到一下呢？这个电影发行的版本和这个导演的版本有什么不一样的地方？
发行的版本可能就是它就像父子两个关系，父子跟教父子的关系。那么导演版本的就是花了这么多时间，拍了这么多素材，原剧本是这样，对吧？就是说众生相叫 LGBTQ， 它是一群人的故事，大大小小的，所以区别就在这里。
So for the theatrical release version, is very much focusing only on the dynamics and relationship between the father and the son. And this particular director's cut is more true to the original script. And then we want to not only focusing on these two characters between the father and the son, but also almost giving a group portrait of the of the transgender community in China. So it's definitely something that is broader in its scope.
你像那98老马那个故事，就是如果说那个版本就没有，这个我看它就深度就出来了。
For example, the bar owner, it's not in this theatrical release, but it is in this particular version because these are secondary characters, but still carry a part of that group portrait that I want to portray. The group portrait I want to portray in this particular director's cut.
What kind of difficulties did you have to overcome when shooting the film, considering it's based in China?
那在大陆拍片的时候，那尤其是拍出片，有什么特别困难的地方？那怎么去把它解决掉？
两个问题，两个很大的困难，当然拍的时候找不到一个教堂能拍，对吧？可能教会说好，说拍这个就，对吧？所以我们在河北一个乡下找了一个小村教堂，我们把它重新给它一些，把它布置一下，送一台旧钢琴给他，送了好多圣经给他，那还有人在就是演戏的都是当地的教基督徒，每个人给他一天按工资给他几十块钱一天啊，所以把这个问题解决了，就是还有很多那个
So there are two major challenges. Number one, of course, is about scouting a church that will allow us to make this film because of the subject matter. And so we ended up shooting this particular film in a very rural village in the Hebei province. And what we did is that we gave them a lot of gifts, including Bibles.
What province?
In Hebei province. So we gave them a lot of gifts, such as Bibles that we brought with us, and we also paid them to participate in this particular film. So a lot of people that you see footages, these are actual congregation, people in the congregation actually participate in the filming of this particular movie.
第二个方面也很困难，我们的很多演员他不是这个 LGBT 人群，还有演员的样子的话，包括还有聋人，也不是这类人，所以说我们要找专业人员培训，包括请聋人剧组跟他吃住在一起，就是很短时间教一些简单的那些台词表演嘛，所以这个也花了很多精力。LGBT 人呢，就是请他们来，你看这个画面里很多那种群众演员，就是有些就这个人，他们一边有时候参与一边戏，有时候教我们演员怎么走路，这是来都教了，他们要去模仿去学。
So the second challenge is that even though we do have non-professional actors, most of the lead characters are played by professional actors, and these actors, they are not part of the LGBTQ community, so including the deaf person, well, the actors who play the deaf characters in the film. So in order for us to give some sense of authenticity to the film and also to the acting, we actually put together this particular immersion experience for the actors to live and to just learn from people from the LGBTQ community, so that they get a sense of what's it like to be part of the community. And a lot of people that we rely on from the LGBTQ community also participate in the film, so you can see that they are the extras in the backgrounds and they're part of the film, and they are also there to be our consultants and also to teach our actors, professional actors, how to walk, how to behave, how the manners of it, and a lot of details in the acting. So it's a good collaboration with the community.
你像我们这个电影两个牧师和真牧师，真正的教会牧师。
And in the film, the pastors that you saw, these are actually in real life, they are pastors that we recruited to be part of our film.
包括所有的台词，关于教会的台词，都是请一群牧师，教会的人他们一个一个台词对。
So, and also all the dialogues in the film is related to religions, that it's after the consultation with a panel of pastors, and then we actually go through those lines, one line.
当然，也很多人不愿意来反对的原因。
And of course, we invited quite a few, and some of them, they say no to the project because of the subject matter.
Yeah, so that was it. There's several questions about the soundtrack. I'm going to try and synthesize a bit. What is the inspiration for the music soundtrack, especially the part when Yuman passes away? And where can I find that wonderful score?
那对于音乐选择，特别是像在自杀之后的有一个音乐，那怎么样去可以找到这个音乐的他的作品？
这个音乐是台湾人做的，这个音乐是流行音乐。因为我们找到他的人的时候，就是我们公益的版本的时候，就是当时看了给钱的，就是成了我们自己的音乐，我们就做电影音乐，他们在沟通，他说我们这个版本没有翻译，知道吧？所以这个也没要钱。但是我们整个音乐做的音乐免费做的，包括后面那首歌也是在一些教堂自己的音乐，自己的歌词，我们把它重新捋了一遍，这没版权，对不对？没付钱。
So the song that you're referring to for that particular scene is actually it's a pop song from Taiwan, and as a result of the fact that this particular director's cut never made it to theater, there's no copyright issue, so we didn't even pay for the rights to use the music. And also included in this particular film, there are a lot of hymns and songs that have been sung. And these are actually from the church that I just mentioned, and these are from those people in the church, and those are the songs they sung, and we just include them in the film.
Thank you. Another question from the audience regarding the feedback. What feedback have you got from the transgender community in China?
那在 国内的跨性别的这个族群，他们对你这部片的反馈是什么？
好多年了，当时他们还挺支持的。我们采访的时候啊，跟他们聚会的时候，我们编剧都参与了。我们自己原来 LGBT 他们很多公开的聚会，我们就参与。我也跟他们见了面，也采访过他们。也来了6、7个，来了6、7个不得了。到这个电影出来以后呢，就是可能他们觉得有些人觉得感觉自己看到影子了，就反而保持沉默了。或者现在一些政治的变化，可能他们也不知道，也不怎么表态了。私下里知道的也看过啊，但是呢，因为我们没有公共场放，就把只是小范围大家看一下，就是每个人表态，那就反映不一样。
So it's been quite a few years that they tend to be very supportive. The LGBT communities, especially transgender communities, that they were consulted for the films. As I mentioned before, how I put together scripts through interviews with the screenwriters, and then they were a part of this all along. So they were very, very supportive when they saw the final product. And I do think that a lot of them, especially within the LGBTQ community, they saw this film, they sort of felt silent for the reason that they do see a part of them on screen in the film, and it is just too close to home for them to really utter any type of response right after the screening. And I do think that a lot of them also are thinking about the current political shift in China, and they're really thinking about what it was before and what it is now. So those are the feedback and also reaction I received from the transgender and also LGBTQ community watching the film. And we didn't really have the chance to show this in theater or public for that matter, so we only have very few private screenings with the people who participated in the making of the film.
我也因此这么多年来，有时候跟他们还有点来往嘛。我也在好奇想这个问题。当时我们在做这个项目，我就采访他们的时候，跟他们交流，他们都很好，很客气的，什么都告诉我，什么都给你配合嘛。一旦你拍完以后，我们看的时候，他们沉默了。我觉得他们就是在里面看到他自己的苦难，他不想让你知道，就是很坚强，就这类人群，所以我也理解他们。
So I think that it's very interesting that the same group of people, they were very vocal, very open, and they were so willing to share their stories when we were doing interviews and doing research for the films with the screenwriters. They will watch the film and then just felt completely silent after the screening. I do think that has something to do with the fact that they realize that now the sufferings have been there, presented in the film so realistically for the whole world to see. And they don't want to be seen as victims or someone who you need to take pity on them, and they just have this strong sense of self, and they don't want that. In a way, it's very vulnerable for them to see themselves depicted in such a real and realistic and also natural and authentic way.
Thank you. Being signaled right now that sadly we're running out of time. You will have great questions to ask. I'm sorry, but we have to work with the schedule. Thank you so much, Director Zhang, for taking our questions. Director Zhang will be back tomorrow. Director Zhang will be back tomorrow for Internet. You can also follow Internet. It's a very helpful motion movie. So I hope to see you at Internet